Hey everybody, I'm Mike Kasmer. Today we're going to be checking out the brand new Privateer 161. This is a bike we first saw in prototype stage right around 12 months ago, and since then it's undergone a few tweaks, a few refinements, and now it's available for the public. As the name suggests, this bike was designed with a privateer racer in mind, somebody that wants something that won't break the bank, that can withstand weekend after weekend of hard riding, hard racing. It's an aluminum frame, available in 4 sizes. They go by P1, 2, 3, and 4. P1 has 27.5-inch wheels, and then the remaining 3 sizes, 29-inch wheels. Got 161 millimeters of rear travel. It's designed to work well with a 170 to 180 millimeter fork. The 2 main factors that really set this bike apart are the price and the geometry. It's an outlier in both categories. Let's start with the price. Frame only, you're looking at right around $1,500 US, and Privateer also has a complete build that's just a touch over $3,000. The bike here, built this from the frame up, but still with an eye towards the more affordable side of the spectrum, a fancy Fox 38 fork notwithstanding. Relatively affordable aluminum frame. Now let's talk about the geometry numbers. Right here we've got the P3, so that's basically equivalent to a size large. Has a 490 millimeter reach, 446 millimeter chainstays, which vary depending on the size by 5 millimeters, and a head tube angle of 64 degrees, so definitely on that longer and slacker side of the spectrum. One number that really is an outlier is that C-tube angle. I know, we keep talking about steeper C-tube angles. This one is about as steep as it gets, at least as far as I've seen so far. This one is 80 degrees, so you're looking at almost vertical. You can see it when you take a look. So 80-degree seat-tube angle, very steep for those climbs. And one of the changes that they made from the prototype to this version is they made enough room so you can run longer traveled dropper posts, which are important as seat-tube angles get that steep. So I definitely say those are cutting-edge numbers, right at the forefront of where we're starting to see things go. As to how much further they can go, that's up for debate, and that's a topic for a different video. But overall, definitely progressive numbers on this bike. One of the ways that Privateer was able to keep the cost of this bike down was by using off-the-shelf tubing. So basically, top tube, down tube, those pieces, they're not custom to Privateer, but the rocker link and the bottom bracket junction, those pieces are custom to Privateer. So they saved a little bit of money, but it's not an off-the-shelf catalog frame. It is their own design. They worked with Alistair Beckett of Redburn Design to put their geometry numbers and to create this bike here. So that kind of mix of, like I said, off-the-shelf tubing and some customization allows you to get a bike that's relatively inexpensive, but it's exactly what Privateer was looking to create. Like I said, I built this one from the frame up, just some parts we have in for testing, and I did try to kind of do it with an eye towards the more value price side of the spectrum. So I've got that Shimano SLX 12-speed drivetrain on there, got some Stans wheels, the Maxxis Assegai front tire, DHR2 rear, DMR death grips, that new Fox 38 up front. The one bit of carbon on this bike is that Descendant handlebar, but otherwise it's full aluminum. So just gonna be kind of using this bike as a means to test a bunch of product as well as the frame. Well, if I could sum my first impressions of this bike up in 3 words, they'd be, it's a beast. By beast, I mean on the climbs and the descents. Climbing, because of that weight. It's a big bike, like I said, 35 to 37 pounds. You're gonna notice it if you're out for a big, long ride. Luckily, it's a comfortable climber. As long as you are going uphill on the flats, that steep seat-tube angle can feel a little strange. We'll dive into that more in the long-term review, but that beastliness, luckily, that carries over to descents, and this bike will carry some serious speed. You can let it run. It's not the quickest as far as if you're gonna hop and pop from side to side on the trail, but if you're into going fast down the steep straightaways, just kind of letting off the brakes and letting it run, this bike, definitely a good candidate. Feels solid, no major issues so far, but like I said, we're still early on in the testing phase. I'll be putting this through its paces over the next couple of months and report back with a long-term review, as well as some comparisons to other bikes in this category. There's that Raw Madonna, you've got the Banshee Titan. This year we're seeing a bumper crop of aluminum long travel 29ers. Pretty cool to see, and we'll be comparing them, seeing how they stack up. Those are the basics of the Privateer 161. Thanks for watching. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment below, and also check out the new Pink Bike podcast. You can also find the link to that in the video description. Thanks. The bird definitely shit on this. You see that? I hope it was on video, because that'd be amazing. Hang on. Now we have good bloopers.